Instagram is a graveyard of perfection, but beneath the filters lies a digital slaughterhouse. You've never seen entities this real, from biological horrors thrashing over pasta to an alien parenting a bird eating egg. We're uncovering cryptic networks, man-sized ragdoll families, and faces that feel like human flesh worn as a costume. These are the most disturbing Instagram accounts. Number 10. There is a style of pixel art on Instagram that looks exactly like a video game from the year 2001, comforting in a nostalgic kind of way, until you find the account that uses it wrong. That is Mugrekuin, a pixel art horror account that has built a deeply uneasy following by drawing scenes that look like leaked screenshots from a game that does not exist. The early posts pull you in soft. A muted, big-eyed anime character stands quietly on screen. Another character walks up, pets her head. Her cheeks flush bright red. The animation loops. The comments call it cute. 2 posts later, the same character is sitting on the lap of a skeleton, perfectly relaxed, like the skeleton is her boyfriend. A few posts after that, she is pulling out a Ouija board on what appears to be a quiet Tuesday afternoon and casually summoning the devil. Then the account turns. The next series shows My Little Pony characters rendered in the same low-poly style, but ruined. One has its face torn open, blood pooling where its mouth used to be, a single eye hanging from the socket. Another is impaled on spikes rising out of the earth, an infection spreading visibly through its body. A third is crawling, missing half its torso, ribs exposed, one leg dragging behind. The final post in the series shows what's left of it. And then there is Curly, a pale, smiling humanoid figure with a permanent grin, who sits across from the camera at a small table, lit like a children's afternoon TV show. In his most viewed post, captioned Date with Curly, he leans forward, voice high and gentle, and asks the viewer, "Do you like cake?"
Do you like cake?
The next shot, without warning, shows what he is actually holding out, a glass of bleach. The video ends. Curly is still smiling. The whole account works, because nothing about it tries to be horror. Curly's voice is friendly. The ponies are colorful. The pixel art is the kind your favorite indie game would use. And somewhere between the cake question and the bleach, your brain notices that something here is performing the shape of innocence, without understanding what innocence is for. And it's still smiling at you, through the screen, asking again. Number 9. The paramedics in Bogotá, Colombia got the call on a regular afternoon. A man on the other end of the line was sobbing. His wife was sick, severe headache. He thought she might be dying. The paramedics arrived, sirens on, stretcher ready, and what they found inside the apartment was a 27-year-old man named Christian Montenegro, kneeling beside the bed, holding the hand of a fabric ragdoll named Natalia. He had filmed the entire thing for his Instagram. 42,000 people follow that account, and what they have watched over the last several years is the slow construction of a complete family life between a real man and 3 handmade dolls he calls his wife and children. Natalia came first. After a bad breakup, Christian says he could not bear the loneliness anymore, so he stitched together a life-size doll, gave her a name, wardrobe, personality, and decided she was the woman he was going to marry. The Instagram feed picks up from there. Date nights, restaurants, dance floors. Natalia propped beside him at parties, head tilted, eyes glassy, while he laughs at jokes he tells her. In one post, the two of them are at a disco. Christian is dancing. Natalia is being held upright by the wall. Then came the children, 2 of them at first. Then a third, named Sammy, who was born in a hospital. Christian filmed the delivery. He wore scrubs and a surgical cap. Another doll, dressed as a doctor, attended the birth. Natalia was in a hospital gown. The newborn was a smaller doll, placed gently on her stomach. The comments under his posts split clean down the middle. Half congratulate the family, half beg him to get help. Christian has responded to the critics directly, and the line he uses is the one that stays with you longest. "If it weren't for the dolls," he said, "I would be more alone than anyone. With my Natalia, We watch TV. We talk about everything. They don't know how much I love her. And that is what makes the account so disturbing. It is not performance art. It is a man, day after day, performing the rituals of a life, birthday parties, hospital visits, family photos, for a household that cannot perform them back. Number 8. This account on Instagram, posting since 2022, that has never once admitted to being human. Her name is Sabrina Miller. At first glance, she looks like an AI-generated portrait. Blonde hair, white-collared shirt, doll eyes. You're about to scroll past her. Don't, because the caption underneath isn't a caption, it's a confession. Sabrina is not, by her own admission, human. She is an alien. She has been living among us for a long time, and her Instagram is the diary she keeps while she tries, and consistently fails, to behave like the rest of us. Humans feel too much emotion, she writes, in that flat, anesthetized tone she uses for everything, even the genuinely awful stuff. And there is a lot of genuinely awful stuff buried in her grid. She has a daughter. In one of the most disturbing digital crossovers ever documented, Sabrina actually posted on a parenting subreddit asking how to be a good parent for my egg. The community reacted with genuine terror, and for good reason. She later detailed the birth of her child, claiming she accidentally threw her up in a sink. The lore becomes increasingly macabre as she describes the child, a pale, egg-shaped entity, making cat noises and leaving stains on the carpet she still hasn't gotten out. But the rabbit hole goes even deeper than body horror. Sabrina suggests she is a traveler, trapped in the wrong timeline. She posts proof from her original reality, screenshots where the series The OA was never canceled, Ariana Grande is a famous grunge artist, and Breaking Bad dragged on for 14 seasons. She also reveals a dark past involving a man named Richard Williams, a friend who allegedly used her as a biological experiment, leaving her with fragmented memories and a desperate need for therapy. The horror isn't the content, it's the consistency. Number 7. 3 a.m. You're scrolling reels, half awake, and then, without warning, the next swipe drops you into something that should not be there. The handle is La Zona Inquietante, Spanish for the disturbing zone. And whatever it is you just saw, you are going to be thinking about it tomorrow. This account does not curate. It dumps content into the feed like a flooded server room. And the rule seems to be that anything goes as long as it makes you flinch. The first viral post is what looks like an old photograph of a clown standing in a hallway. Ordinary. Until the photograph starts moving just enough to twitch the eyes, lift the cheeks, tilt the head. The motion is wrong in a way you can feel but not name. Joints bending half a degree too far. Smile lasting half a second too long. The caption underneath, in Spanish, asks the viewer, "Do you like clowns?" The answer, after watching it, is permanently no. Scroll down. A grainy phone video, framed like genuine security footage, shows a man filming his own bedroom doorway. The door is cracked open. Inside the gap, small, slow, deliberate, a pale hand emerges, fingers wiggling, waving at him. Whether that's true is irrelevant. The hand waves. The video ends. A few posts later, a man lies in what looks like a hospital bed, coughing softly. With each cough, his stomach swells, visibly, unnaturally, pushing the bedsheet upward in a way no human anatomy should allow. Something is moving inside him. The clip cuts before whatever it is finishes arriving. And then, mid-scroll, the account does something genuinely unsettling. It posts a Minecraft clip, a peaceful one, followed by a conspiracy post about the Illuminati, followed by a piece of body horror so explicit you'd swear it was screened out by Instagram's filters before you remember that. Somehow, it wasn't. The rhythm has no logic. You scroll for a calm one to recover, and the next post is worse than the one before it. That is the trap. Curated horror accounts let you brace. La Zona Inquietante refuses. There is no comfort gap between the disturbing posts, no signal for when to look away. It is a feed designed the way the worst part of the internet is designed, to keep you scrolling into rooms you would never have walked into on purpose, with the door already shut behind you. Number 6. The death rattle is unmistakable, that rhythmic, guttural croak that signaled certain doom in the J-horror classic Ju-On. But on the Instagram account, at Kayako with Toshio, that sound is the soundtrack to a family picnic. This is a meticulously crafted mother-son lifestyle blog, run by Kayako Saiki and her pale, wide-eyed son, Toshio. While the world knows them as vengeful spirits who murder anyone who enters their house, Instagram knows them as a duo that enjoys the park, shares snacks, and maintains a surprisingly active social life. What makes this account truly disturbing is the absolute absence of irony in the photography. You'll see Kayako, her face a mask of white grease paint and dark, hollow eyes, leaning out of a playground slide alongside Toshio. In another post, the pair is captured from a bird's-eye view, lying on a traditional tatami mat in poses that would be aesthetic for a normal influencer, but are genuinely skin-crawling when performed by the undead. There is something deeply unnatural about watching Toshio, with his unblinking stare, calmly biting into a bright blue ice pop while his mother looms over his shoulder. Officially, the account began as promotion for the film Sadako vs. Kayako. Unofficially, it never stopped. Years after the movie released, the diary keeps updating. The bath photos keep coming. The line between marketing and something else has quietly dissolved, and what remains is a dutifully maintained scrapbook of a murdered woman and her drowned son, living the happy domestic life they never got to have. Number 5. A girl knocks on the window. You hear it through your phone speakers. The camera turns toward the sound. She's standing right outside, her face pressed against the pane, smiling directly at you. You watch her for 2 full seconds. Then, the realization hits. The sound didn't come from the window. It came from inside the room. This is a clip from @sin.rostros, an Instagram account whose handle translates from Spanish to without faces, and whose content is the single most physically uncomfortable thing the algorithm will ever serve you. This account makes you flinch involuntarily, the way your body flinches before your brain has caught up, because every video on his page is engineered to bypass logic entirely and hit the part of your nervous system that doesn't believe in CGI. The format is always the same. A normal, mundane room, your hallway, your bathroom, a bedroom doorframe. Nothing happens for 15-20 seconds. The camera pans gently. A vent hums. A faucet drips. And then something, and you will never quite be able to describe what the something is, steps into frame. In one clip, a creature with 3 spiked, fang-rimmed mouths is being studied by men in lab coats until someone hands it a single spoon of plain pasta. It short-circuits. It begins screaming, thrashing. The lab coats panic. The video cuts. Sin.rostros isn't a haunted account. It isn't a real ghost. It is one anonymous digital artist who has figured out exactly how to weaponize realism, and the result is the most physically disturbing scrolling experience on the entire platform. Number 4. On a bright Saturday afternoon at Santa Monica Pier, families are eating ice cream. The Ferris wheel is spinning, and walking calmly down the boardwalk is a woman drenched in blood, wearing a mask with razor teeth painted across it, smiling at every person who turns to look. Her name is Giggles. Her Instagram handle is @ScaryGiggles. And the most unsettling thing about her isn't the costume, it's the bio. "Hi, I'm Giggles. I was born a clown. Come play with me." She doesn't say she plays a clown. She was born one. That single sentence reframes every photo on her grid in a way you can't quite shake. With over 71,000 followers and a verified blue checkmark, Giggles posts daily life as a horror character living inside a perfectly normal world. Beach trips drenched in fake blood, arms outstretched like she's having the best day of her life. Sunday family dinners with other masked figures, horned skulls, fanged faces, eyeless men in suits, all calmly sitting at the table together. She carries a saw in some photos. She is everywhere a clown like that should never be, doing everything a clown like that should never do. And the algorithm keeps recommending her to more people. She isn't hidden in some dark corner of the platform. She is out in public, in broad daylight, posting all of it. And the most disturbing part is how many of her followers find it cute. Number 3. Heaven usually evokes images of peace, light, and transcendence. But on the Instagram account @BlawedHeaven, it is a word etched into the skin of a nightmare. The signature word, heaven, sits beneath a still image of 3 corpses hanging upside down by their ankles, faces distorted past the point of being human, strung up like butchered meat in a freezer. Heaven captions a photograph of a person pierced through the chest with a long, polished blade. Heaven is stamped across rotting teeth, exposed organs, broken halos, bleeding saints. The aesthetic lives somewhere between Renaissance religious painting and a coroner's report. Every gate to paradise on the grid resembles a slaughterhouse door, and every angel looks like it has just lost a fight. And then, every so often, the art stops. The page goes black. A full-screen text post appears, addressed to no one and to everyone at the same time. What's missing? Why are you here? Stop living through your phone. It's your turn to talk. That isn't a comment and DM. That is the artist speaking directly to whoever happens to be scrolling. And after 50 more posts of carved open figures and weeping saints, you start to wonder what answer they're actually waiting for. What makes BlawedHeaven so deeply unsettling isn't any single image. It is the worldview behind the entire grid. Someone, somewhere, is sitting at their software every night, hand-designing a version of paradise where the only thing waiting on the other side is exposed organs, gritted teeth, and a single quiet word repeated forever: heaven. Number 2. The photo looks like something from a horror film. A bride stands in white on her wedding day. Beside her, her groom, except where his face should be, there is only a column of pale flame. His head appears to be on fire. The photograph is over 100 years old. The bride and groom is long dead, and the fire isn't fire at all. It's a candle in the room, caught by accident through a long exposure, lined up perfectly with where his face should have been. The photo is real. It actually exists. And it lives on an Instagram account called @happy.weird.day. The bio is 2 words: strange photos from history. The account follows exactly one other profile. Just 200 posts, drip-fed from someone, somewhere, who has been quietly collecting the most unsettling photographs ever taken and serving them up to you like a daily devotional. Children in gas masks lined up in rows during civil defense drills, staring blankly at the camera. An entire 1950s theater audience wearing identical Mickey Mouse masks. A Victorian family portrait where the children pose calmly beside a corpse in a chair, held upright by hidden wires, eyes painted onto closed lids, so the family could pretend, just for the photograph, that their dead child was still alive. 3 hooded figures with painted eyes drawn over their masks. A horned schoolboy carrying the severed heads of 2 lambs. This isn't just weird history. It is a masterclass in the uncanny valley. The point where something looks human enough to be recognized, but just off enough to trigger a biological flight response. But the true reason of this being disturbing is its connection to a massive, cryptic network known as SigilOps. Digital investigators on Reddit have linked @happy.weird.day to thousands of shadow profiles, including the notorious Marie-Jeanne Claude, that use French anagrams and palindromes to hide their true purpose. Experts even suggest these images might utilize steganography, where data is hidden within the pixels of the photos themselves, requiring specialized software to decode. Whether it is a massive experimental art project or a digitization of a real-world threat, the digital paranoia it creates ensures that once a viewer clicks, they are stuck in a forensic rabbit hole for hours. Number 1. What has my reels come to? That comment, posted under a black and white night vision clip of a tall, pale figure stretching its arms toward the sky. Scroll up. The account is called Ecology Homestones, and the figure in the field has a name: Cheap Steak. The page presents itself, at first, like an ordinary homestead account. A man working his land, wholesome captions about harvest day. Then you hit one of the posts that broke the algorithm. A pair of dirty hands grip something buried in wet, cracked soil. They pull, What comes out of the ground is not a carrot. It is a long, fleshy, raw piece of meat, pink, veined, dripping, hanging limp from the roots like something just butchered. The caption is matter-of-fact, written the way any gardening reel would describe a normal harvest. The comments underneath read like a panic room. One viewer writes that they hope whoever made the video is okay. The man on the screen has a name too, Robert. He is, according to the lore, a farmer who grows meat instead of vegetables. His carrots are flesh, his fields drain pink water, his tools are stained, and he is, throughout the entire series, being hunted by Cheap Steak, a gnome-like entity whose name is exactly that ridiculous and whose appearances are exactly that not. The videos cycle between styles. One post will be filmed like a wholesome homestead reel. The next will be a close-up of audio glitching, the voice distorted into something that sounds less like a sentence and more like a transmission. Then back to peaceful. Then back to wrong. The page has become a slow burn cult, a complete fictional ecosystem hiding inside the same app you use to like your friends' vacation photos. That is what makes Ecology Homestones work. Most disturbing accounts succeed because they hide something inside the ordinary. This one succeeds because the ordinary is the disguise. And one swipe deeper, a cosmology, built by someone you'll never meet, starring characters you weren't supposed to know existed, taking place on a homestead that lives entirely inside an Instagram grid, in a world where the carrots are made of meat and the gnome is always one frame behind. If this video disturbed you, drop a like and subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from. Tell me in the comments which account shook you the most and which one I should investigate next. Stay safe out there.